So the Focusrite Scarlett 4th generation interfaces, there's a whole load of these things, and you might well be asking yourself, what is the right one for me? And in this video, we're going to try and answer that question. We've got Alex from Focusrite, who is going to help us understand what the differences between each of the interfaces actually is, and who might be the person for that interface. So Alex, what interface should I get?
So the main difference is between each of them, how many things do you want to record at once, right? So if it's just like one microphone and one guitar or something like that, that's probably the Scarlett Solo. The main difference is that it's got two inputs, but one of them's just an XLR, which is usually for microphones, and the other one is for like line input, which would be like a guitar
or a keyboard.
Or a keyboard, yeah, like a mono keyboard.
But in just one channel, not in stereo.
Exactly, yeah. So that's the Scarlett Solo. That's typically the best case for that. And then there's the 2i2, which has two inputs, and they can be either XLR or jack for each input, depending on what you're recording. So a use case for that would be like a stereo output of a keyboard or a synthesizer or something. And or you could have two microphones connected at once for like duets kind of thing. Or you could have one microphone and one jack connection, like a keyboard, mono keyboard, like we were talking about.
Like on the Solo, yeah.
Exactly. But there's also a bunch more stuff on the 2i2 as well. So there's a jump between the Solo to the 2i2 in terms of functionality. There's a really nice clip safe mode on there, which prevents you from clipping and getting distortions, which are irreparable once you've recorded them. There's an auto gain feature on the 2i2, which just sort of helps you set your levels before you start recording and does it automatically for you, which is really nice. There's also improved preamps on the 2i2 as well. So we've got a little bit more dynamic range, which is basically the distance between the loudest and the quietest things that it will record, and a little bit more gain that you can throw into
69 versus 57. Right.
That's right, yeah.
I'm remembering. That's good. So this is for recording stereo things. And either XLR, two mics, or two jacks, or a combination. So it feels like a bit of a step up in terms of versatility, and you cover your ability to record your stereo keyboards and then to record one or two mics at once. You could do podcasts as well, kind of as we're doing here. You could plug two Shure SM7Bs and chat into that.
That's exactly right, yeah. So both of them are two channels. You can record two things at once, but the difference is the 2i2, it could either be like a mic and a guitar, or it could be two mics, or it could be two guitars.
Two of the same type.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you get this extra like no clipping and all these sort of little like clever things that help you get a really good recording without you kind of needing to know what you're doing.
Yes, yeah. It's a lot of ease of life stuff, yeah.
So then what is the 4i4? What's the 4i4 for?
The 4i4 is for up to 4 inputs and 4 outputs. So on this one, you could have 4 things connected simultaneously by jack leads, so that could be like 2 stereo synthesizers or keyboards. It could be, there's 2 mic inputs on this one as well. So you could have like a stereo keyboard and 2 mics connected.
2 mics.
That's right, yeah. And there's also 4 outputs on that as well. That could be really handy for 2 speakers sitting on your desktop, but also if you wanted to send like audio out of your computer and through an effects pedal or something, that's a really nice use case for that. Or if you had speakers in another room, you could send it out to those as well.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds a bit more advanced. And you've got MIDI as well on that one, right?
That's right,
I'm saying that because I can literally see the MIDI ports, but that's a nice touch. So what would we use this for as well, just for those who don't know?
So MIDI's like a language that's used by like synthesizers, and it's sort of control, it's control signals for synthesizers and that kind of thing. So if you've got like some hardware synths and you want to get them speaking to your computer to and from, you've got hardware connections for that on the back of the 4i4.
And more inputs to record them, I guess.
And more inputs,
because you've got the line in. So
yes.
It sounds like that's a bit more advanced. Like if you have more hardware, if you're going to be doing bigger band recording situations, you're going to have like a couple of vocalists and a keyboard, or it could even be like the output of a mixer, right? You could have like a mixer that had a few things mixed together that could go into one pair, and then you could have 2 mics with separation at the same time, right?
That's right, yeah. Loads more options, yeah.
And MIDI.
And MIDI, and of course those nice features that we talked about on the 2i2. Everything on the 2i2 is also in the 4i4, so there's the clip safe and the auto gain and that kind of thing. And those really nice preamps that we saw on the 2i2.
Wicked.
They're on the 4i4. The other predominant difference as well to mention between the Solo and both the 2i2 and the 4i4 is that the 2i2 and 4i4 can both be externally powered, so they could work sort of standalone basically, or you could plug them into a like an iPhone and just use them as the audio interface for your iOS device.
When you say externally powered, do you mean you could use these like a kind of mixer or something on stage, or it's like a mic pre?
Yeah, I imagine that's the most useful case for that is probably the 4i4 because you can get 4 channels down to 2. But you can do, whatever you want with the routing on those. The most useful use case, I think, is getting that sound into your iOS device. So you can get like really high quality preamps directly recorded into whatever your video you're recording on your iOS device.
Oh yeah, well you could record video but with really good sound.
Exactly, yeah.
I hadn't even thought of that.
It's really, really helpful. If you're trying to just get like a quick clip for social media or something and you're just like playing on your synth, you can get that really good sound straight into the...
Non-trivial as well. And I've messed around with quite a lot of kind of iOS devices that basically purport to be audio interfaces for your phone. I've been mostly disappointed, I have to say. So I think if you've got like, a properly proven audio interface, which the like Scarlett stuff definitely is, they are literally the best-selling audio interfaces.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. And this is the 4th generation.
In the known universe.
Yeah, exactly.
As much as we can see with Voyager 1 and 2, we know that these are they sell really well. So there's obviously something to them.
Yes. Yeah, and it's the 4th generation now, so we've been iterating and improving on these a long time.
So is there any software difference? I understand they come with software. There's like a package. Do you want to tell folks about that? Like what are the differences or the similarities?
It's the same software that's bundled with all of them. There's some control software to adjust the features on the front, the remote control preamps as well.
You mean there's a computer program that can set everything up?
That's right. Yeah. So those, whether it's using air mode or whether it's what gain levels we're at, that's all on the Focusrite Control 2 software. And then there's a bunch of nice bundled like DAWs, plugins, fun stuff to record with as well.
Ableton Live, Pro Tools First.
Pro Tools Artist, yeah.
Pro Tools Artist, I should say. Yes, that's right. So they're 2 very nice things to have.
Yeah.
2 different sort of methodologies and workflows. And then a bunch of like amp modeling and reverbs, compressors, that type of thing.
Everything you need to get going and make a hit, really. Yeah.
Sorted.
Yeah.
How can it be?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about because we've got these 3 that we've been talking about, but there's also these bundles.
Yes.
What are those?
Just to jump back really quick before I forget, the iOS support is also seen on the Scarlett Solo as well, but you just need a camera connection kit, which is externally powered. So that's the difference.
You actually have one down there, don't you?
That's right, yeah.
Do you want to look, it's like Blue Peter.
Here's one we prepared earlier. So that would have like power going into that. That would be externally powered. And then from the other socket, it would be connected to your Scarlett Solo.
I've got the wrong type of connector here, but you'd have the one that had, normal USB and then Lightning on the end, right?
That's it. Yeah. And then Scarlett Solo, you can get Scarlett Solo. Any of these you could plug into.
So you can iOS this with the correct adapter, but these ones, you can just use a USB-C to Lightning cable and go straight into your iPhone.
Yes, so long as they've also got external power.
Via the USB that comes with it.
Yes, there's USB-C.
You'd maybe use a USB power plug or something like that. Yeah. But it's not that hard. It's just a case of having the right cables.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wicked.
But yeah, to just jump back to the bundles as well, the Scarlett Solo and the 2i2, there's also a version of those which comes with headphones and a microphone as well. So it really is absolutely everything you need to get going. If you're like an instrumentalist or a musician who's thinking about recording for the first time, it's everything you need to get going.
Nice. Alex, thank you so much. I hope that helps you zone in. If you do have any questions though, as you well might, please leave a comment and ask your questions below. Links to get all the Focusrite range, because you can do so at Gear for Music, will also be down below. Thanks very much for watching. Subscribe and we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.